Welcome to this daily guided meditation practice. This is the Attentive Mind. My name is Nathan, and I'll be guiding you through this meditation practice today. Find yourself a seated position. Any position works. You can be lying down even if you need to. But preferably, if you can, sit on the floor on a cushion with an upright back. But it's not necessary. You can sit in a chair if that works. Just find what works for you. We also keep our eyes open during this practice. It's not a closed-eye meditation practice. However, if you have learned to practice with your eyes closed and you feel more comfortable closing your eyes during practice, feel free to do so. There are no hindrances here. Only if your eyes are open, go ahead and just drop them away from the screen, kind of glance lightly at the floor below. We're not staring or analyzing anything. We're also not blurry and buzzy. We just have a nice, light, clear gaze directed downwards. You're in a comfortable seated position. Your eyes are open, gently looking down. Just relax. Let go of the day so far. And let go of the to-do list. It'll take time for things to calm down in the body and in the mind. So don't rush. Just allow everything to settle here and now. There's nowhere to go. There's nothing to do. And there's no one to become. Allow everything in this moment to be exactly as it is right now. Don't push anything away. Don't cling to anything either. Notice what you notice and rest. Allow the body to relax all by itself. It takes no effort. The body wants to relax. So let it happen. more than likely, I'm interrupting a conversation you're having with yourself right now. You were thinking, attached to thought. But the problem isn't that thoughts are happening. We simply just pay too close attention to them. And so we believe that we are our thoughts. That somehow you are the author of every thought that goes to your head. But thoughts happen by themselves in the same way that your heartbeat happens by itself. You don't control it. So with meditation, we simply bring our attention elsewhere. We bring our attention to this moment by paying attention to something that can only happen now. And that is the breath. Notice how your attention is up near your head area. Maybe the forehead or behind the eyes. And see if you can just drop this view. Drop your attention down to the lower belly, below your belly button. Just notice this area. Watch as the breath comes in, the belly rises. And as the breath goes out, the belly falls. Rest your attention intimately with this sensation. And allow your thoughts to come and go as they please. And I'm probably catching you thinking again. You are attached to thoughts. But this is okay. It's just our habit. When you notice you're attached to thinking, lost in some fantasy, gently return to the lower belly. Do this as effortlessly as you can. Come back. Come back to breathing. Lower belly. Wake up. Wake up from thinking. Return to breathing. All right, you can look at the screen. Now, I've been practicing meditation for over 12 years now. And I practiced a long time before I met my teacher. And when I met him, I went to his, it's called Zen, it's a Zen center. And it's basically a temple. And we'd just be walking around. I'd be doing the dishes or just kind of an everyday thing. And he'd be there, doing work, whatever. And out of nowhere, he'd just go, breathing. This deep, insanely deep voice. He'd just randomly go, breathing. Out of nowhere. Because a lot of the practice in the beginning is just learning to leave thoughts alone. And for many of you, this is really where you are. You're learning to leave thinking alone and not be bamboozled by it and run along by it. Like it's got chains around you and you keep following it. But the breath is an anchor to the present moment. And so when we learn to leave our attention from thinking and just stay with the breath all the time. He would say breathing, my teacher would say breathing when we're doing random stuff, even when we're talking. Breathing. But it showed me how important it is, just that general understanding of what it's like to not be lost in thought. So many of you and most people will approach meditation still completely attached to thinking. And they want some goal or some outcome for this false sense of self, for this me. I want to be smarter. I want to be better. I want to be clearer. I want to know truth. Me, I. And that's really the other side of meditation, which is really the true purchase of it. There's a deep introspection in who are you? What is this that watches me? But if you don't know what it's like to not be lost in thought, the project of looking for the I, for the me, the one who watches the video, isn't really helpful because you'll probably try to think about it. Like, well, okay, well, I got a brain, I got a body, you're just thinking. So we spend a lot of our time just leaving thought alone, learning to let it go, let it go. And you're hearing some of these practices. At the end of the meditation, I'll ask, what gets lost in thought? Who is it? But if you can't let go of thinking sufficiently in the first place, or even know what it's like, then you won't know how to turn attention back because you'll try to think about it. And then you might even say, oh, now I get it. Just more thinking. So return to breathing always. Just keep coming back. Especially if you're new to the practice, it takes time to develop this skill. The skill of not being fooled by your thoughts. The skill of being present. And this is otherwise known as mindfulness. But really what I share here is what am I meditation. But this what am I meditation won't help unless you see sufficiently through thinking. And I remember the day I was in a silent solo retreat in the woods, a week-long retreat. And I remember the first time I finally saw through a thought. I realized my mind doesn't have to be quiet. It can be noisy, but I saw through it. Like, oh, I'm not that. It just goes on. Then, what am I? What season? So if you have any questions about what I talk about here, I answer all questions. So please comment below and I'll answer it for you. And I post a video like this every single day, just meditation. I'm not going to give you spiritual beliefs. I'm not going to give you some sort of identity you need to do or become or take up. And I'm not going to give you ideas about the universe. Just practice. That's what the attentive mind is. Just practice. So join me and I'll be here for you every single day. No exceptions. Yet. So thank you for your time today. Thank you for showing up for your life. I'll see you tomorrow.